Greetings, greetings, greetings. Today is August 15th, 2019. And this is going to be another short video lesson regarding, in Weaponized Logic, regarding the voice of Yahuwah. And while this topic can be approached by many different angles, what we're going to where we're going to attack it at is hearing the voice of Yahuwah and what that sounds like in real time. Okay, so let us first turn to Genesis chapter 12. Genesis chapter 12. Okay, so we're going to start with really we're just going to read verse 1. So it says, "Now Yahuwah hath said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will shew thee." Okay? So what we read here is that Abram heard Yahuwah's voice tell him and give him instruction on what to do next. Okay? How did that sound? Right? So the master would go on to say, Yahuwshuwa would go on to say that my sheep know my voice and another's they will not follow. Understand that when you hear the voice of the Father, when you hear the voice of the master, it sounds like your voice in your own head, okay? But through a relationship with the Father, through the Son in the Ruach, you understand how to differentiate the two, the two instructions, whether it's you, whether it's your Ruach, or whether it's his Ruach. This is why, turn to Hebrews 11, we're going to start at verse 8. This is why it was accounted to Abraham as faith, because he would believe that the voice that he was hearing was Yahuwah's voice and not his own. That the instruction that was being given to him, though it sounded like him, was not him and was the Father. Okay? Verse 8, chapter 11, Hebrews, it reads, "By faith Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out not knowing whither he went." It was accounted to him as faith to believe. So now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It was accounted to him as faith to believe that the voice that he was hearing, though it sounded like his voice, that was not his instruction to go out and do a thing that he had never done. Okay, turn to and let's prove this thing out. Turn to Psalm 91. Okay, and what we're going to see here is an account of how though you are speaking with your own words, these be not your words. Watch this, starting with verse 11. "For he shall give his malakim." Now we understand that this is Dawid speaking right now. Okay? "For he shall give his malakim charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy feet against the stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder. The young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet." Watch this. So like I said, up until this point, we understand that Dawid is speaking concerning a matter. But watch how the language changed. And when you read in the scriptures, pay attention to these things. Don't just gloss over them. When you see something that brings off, stop. Salah. Pause. Calmly think of that. Muse on that thing. Watch this in verse 14. "Because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name." And real quick, we cannot separate the name from the character of the one named. In John 14:26, Yahuwshuwa would go on to say that my Father, I'm paraphrasing, my Father will send the Quadash Ruach in my name. Okay, it is through the name of Yahuwshuwa that you can even receive the Quadash Ruach. How can you receive the Quadash Ruach if you don't abide in his name? Watch. Verse 15. "He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him." 16. "With long life will I satisfy him and shew him my salvation." Whose salvation? Is David speaking of his own salvation? No, that don't even make logical sense. Let's logically process what's happening here. 2 Samuel chapter 23. Let's logically process what's happening here. Clearly, David is not speaking of himself. What salvation can David bring to any one of us now? Okay? But what's actually happening here? 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 2. The Ruach of YaHuWaH spake by me, and his word was in my tongue. Understand that when you are in communion with the Father through his Son, the Quadash Ruach can come in the Son's name and abide in you. He will even put words in your mouth to speak by. These are the words that you hear in your mind and utter out of your mouth. These are not your words. These are the words of the Master speaking through you. These are the words of the Ruach who is abiding in you because you hold on to the Father's name through his Son. Okay? It is these things. And so when you are hearing the voice of YaHuWaH, yes, we know that the voice of YaHuWaH can, matter of fact, let's just turn right quick. 1 Kings chapter 19. 1 Kings chapter 19. We know that the voice of YaHuWaH can boom like the clouds, and even we have the account at the mount when the voice of YaHuWaH was speaking to Moshe, giving him the commandments, and all the people heard, and they said, look, we don't want no more, we can't take it no more. Yes, the voice of YaHuWaH can be as these things, but we dealing with right now and real men. So understand, the very same way that Kapha, Peter, when Cornelius would go down to bow down before him, he said, no, get up. He said, I am but a man. These prophets of old who, thus saith Yahuwah, they are no different from you and I. These are but men. We are but men. And I'm speaking in terms of genderless. I'm not speaking in terms of gender with male and female, but men in terms of the human race here. We are but men, okay? And so the same way that they heard the voice of YaHuWaH and spoke in his name, I come in the name of YaHuWaH, thus saith YaHuWaH, this is the same way that we must have faith in our dealings with the people of the Most High, in dealings with our brethren. And who are our brethren? Those who do the will of YaHuWaH, period, okay? These are our Akim. These are our Akiyuth, right? Our brothers and our sisters. And another, ain't no other. These are our brothers and sisters, those who do the will of our King and our Father. All right, so understand, the same voice that they heard when they say, thus saith YaHuWaH, is the same voice that we hear when we prophesy in his name, when we speak on behalf of the Father, okay, through his Son. It sounds like your voice. It sounds like our own voice in our head, but you cannot understand to differentiate the two unless you spend time with his word. How can you possibly speak his word if you're not spending time in his word? You cannot possibly know what he would say if you don't know what he has said. You cannot take away the time that need be spent in his word to understand how to differentiate between his voice and your voice. How can you follow the voice of the Master if you're not spending time with his words? Okay, 1 Kings 19. Verse 12. Because like I said, we understand that the voice of YaHuWaH can boom, but in your own head, you have to be quiet. You have to be silent. You have to relax. Take time. Verse 12. And after the earthquake, now you can read the account yourself of what's happening here with Elisha and what's happening. But verse 12. And after the earthquake, a fire. But YaHuWaH was not in the fire. And after the fire, a still small voice. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? Follow. The voice of YaHuWaH booms on the inside of you as a still small voice. Don't get caught up in the feelings that you may have felt when you first heard that voice, because feelings can be tricky. Feelings should help you process information, but they should never dictate your actions. Pay attention to that still small voice and practice in confidence differentiating Yahuwah's voice from your own. Shalom.